It got off to just a perfect start for a guy that says everything's going to be free. Within 24 hours of being elected, he immediately wanted your cash.
You know, there were a few months ago where I told supporters across this city to stop donating. And today I am asking them to start once again. And I am asking them to do so because of the fact that a transition that can meet the moment of preparing for January 1st is one that will require staff, it will require research, it will require infrastructure. And those are things that we will have to provide. And I'm excited for the fact that it will be funded by the very people who brought us to this point, the working people who have been left behind by the politics of the city.
Hey, the people in New York City voted Mamdani in not to give money, but to receive. Dude hadn't been in office 24 hours. Well, I guess he's not in office, but hadn't been elected 24 hours. And he's already asking the people to give him money. This is crazy. You can't make this stuff up. But this dude is he's a liar. Simple as that. He is a liar. And he has lied on a multitude of occasions. Check.
You want to see a liar?
I want to say it very clearly. I will not defund the police.
Lie.
I am in favor of defunding the police. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Oh, wait, another lie.
I was speaking about Zerafui, my father's cousin.
Doesn't wear a hijab.
I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas and Israel beyond the question of justice and safety.
Maybe he's telling the truth on this one. Oh, wait, nope, lie.
The struggle for Palestinian liberation was at the core of my politics and continues to be. I am not, and nor have I ever called for the legalization of prostitution.
You guessed it, lie.
You support decriminalizing prostitution?
Yes, my fundamental belief that sex work is work. I would be happy to work with the president and the administration.
Lie.
What we need to be doing here in our city is to end the chapter of collaboration between City Hall and the federal government. I don't believe that the role of the mayor is to police speech.
Lying again.
There are consequences for speaking up in favor of apartheid.
So just find out who you're voting for before you vote who you're voting for.
That's the crazy thing, is that a lot of people didn't do that. Now, a city like New York, as large as it is, 8 to 10 million people, live in the city. Only about 20% of people turned out to vote. And you had a lot of young people that believe the lies, but they didn't take the time to take that extra step to go do their due diligence and research. And elections have consequences. Let's just keep it real. Elections have consequences. And people are going to have to suffer those consequences, unfortunately.
Yeah. She scares you more than him?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, how come? Yeah. Would you run away from her if you saw her?
Yes, definitely.
She's kind of attractive, though, isn't she?
No.
No? Are you gay?
I'm not. All the MAGA women have that bizarre look to them.
Oh, really?
Do we look bizarre?
No, you don't look like you belong on Fox News. So, no.
We're both MAGA.
How can someone say that, conservative women or women who support the MAGA movement have a weird look to them? Have you not seen some of these liberals out here? Typically, when you see someone with blue hair, pink hair, red hair, stripes, all types of piercings all throughout their nose and face and all types of things, they have a look. They have a look. I'm just saying.
I'm a lesbian. Really? Yeah, I'm a lesbian. She's black.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
so.
Why do you think we voted for Trump?
Yeah.
I have no idea, but enjoy Zoran as your next mayor.
Wait, what's your favorite policy of Zoran's?
All of them.
Which one? Just name one. They don't have one because they don't know one. They don't know.
As soon as you come out as a Trump supporter, the tolerant left is no longer tolerant.
Facts. They run away or they'll yell and scream at you. One of the two.
All of us look bizarre, and then he said that we didn't look bizarre. It's like, what? Which is it? Trump girl or Mamdani?
Who's worse for NYC? I mean,
like, who are you more scared of?
Trump girl, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
You'd run away from her on the street if you saw her?
Oh, God. Wearing the hat? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Scary.
A little, yeah.
What's your favorite policy of his?
Favorite policy? This is, you said the worst of two evils. I think a lot of his policies are a little like the school principal promising like free Chick-fil-A lunches for everybody.
Thank you for saying that.
I don't know that all of them necessarily have the infrastructure behind them to be real, but I also hope that pushing for more progressive policies, that you're able to come back and find a middle ground that's a little more evenly balanced, you know?
Yeah. Free buses, rent freeze, those types of things. How is that going to be possible? Because who's going to pay that bus worker over there if it's free?
It's a good question.
You know the answer?
We have to run.
The answer is our taxes. Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
See, you're smart.
Smart guy.
All right, bye.
Are you gay?
Oh my goodness. Hey, so all the ladies that are looking for liberal men, I'm assuming there's a bunch of them up in New York City. Going up there. They're out there. Going up there. They're out there.
I love all the comments that I keep getting saying that I just don't like Zohran Mamdani because I'm Islamophobic, which is just self-preservation, by the way, but that's neither here nor there, because is Zohran Mamdani even Muslim? I mean, he's ethnically Indian, right? Because you cannot be ethnically Muslim. It's not an ethno-religion similar to Judaism or being a Druze, right? It's its own separate religion, and it's something that you have to want to be a part of. It's something that you have to actively practice. It's something that you have to listen to the teachings of, which I highly, highly recommend for all of you who are going around acting like having a Muslim in power is a good thing in America. Read one of these, right? This is the Quran, and it's going to tell you everything that you need to know about how to become a Muslim and what they actually believe in. If you read it cover to cover, what you will understand is that they believe in things like the death penalty for the LGBT plus community. They believe in the death penalty for having premarital sex. They believe that women should be shamed or even stoned if they choose not to cover their hair, right? You're going to read all of that and more in both the Quran as well as their hadiths. You're going to see that they believe in very primitive things such as continuing to keep sex slaves, right? So I'm just curious, does Mamdani actually believe in those things, or is he putting up a front? Because there's one of two options. Either he actually is a Muslim and he believes in the teachings of the Quran as well as the hadiths, and he's lying to all of you in order to get into some sort of position of power so that he could start to go after everything that made America so great and start to cause it to deteriorate from the inside out, which is something that Islam actually teaches them to do, right? They think that it's a great strategy, and it has unfortunately worked out very well for them in places such as London. Or he's not a Muslim at all, which then is really weird because he goes around talking a lot about Islamophobia, and people just don't like me because I'm a Muslim. But are you? Do you practice it? Do you believe what's in this book? The answer is simple. It's either yes or no. You're either lying in one way or lying in another. But either way, the American people deserve to know which it is, Zohran.
I would agree. And I'm with her in the sense of saying that, hey, this dude's a liar. And people got to understand that these people have the ability, or they can lie, in order to push their agenda in their faith. They can do it. It's unfortunate because we have a lot of people here in America that are just so ignorant to a lot of what's going on around the world. And they just are ignorant to a lot of things in general. So they just don't know any better. And they allow this snake oil salesman, this Trojan horse of an individual, to sell them a bunch of fairy tales, sell them, a bunch of lies, sell them a bunch of dreams and hopes. And, it's just not going to turn out well. It just isn't. And, it is what it is. But Charlie Kirk, he hit the nail on the head here. He had an interview with Tucker Carlson a while back before he passed. And, he was spot on with his analysis here.
Can we reorder the economic reality of under 30s before dark political radicalization sets in?
The economic reality.
Correct. It's
there's a topic that's never broached.
Well, here we go.
No, but it's just interesting it's interesting that's your first answer. The economics. I have always noticed, and I am insulated from a lot of that stuff. I'll admit I don't really notice.
I would be otherwise if I didn't spend as much time, because we do very well. We're in the top income bracket. So,
well, I just noticed no one talks about it. So I think that's weird. People used to talk about economics. They don't anymore. So you think that's economics is the number one issue for young people.
Oh,
if we don't address it, we go to dark places. What does that mean?
So a couple things. Number one, the rise of Mamdani should be it's a coming attraction of what is coming next.
Who's Mamdani?
Zohran Mamdani, the Muslim communist that is running for mayor in New York City, who obviously there's a whole rabbit hole we can go down there. He just looks kind of be like central casting, and his ideas are terrible. He wants the city to run the grocery stores, all that. But I think everyone's kind of, not everyone, but most people are missing the point of really what this is. This is yet another distress signal by young people to say, hey, if you're not going to fix our life economically, we're going to get very radical politically. But let's take a step back. President Trump won the youth vote in many states across the country, in many battleground states. Now, Tucker, 12, 13 years ago when I started Turning Point, if you would have told me that a Republican running for the presidency would be winning the youth vote in Michigan and in Arizona, I'd say no way. It's an incomprehensible accomplishment of what President Trump was able to do. One of the reasons he was able to win younger voters and younger men, especially in big numbers, is that they were trying to get their leaders' attention. They said, hey, this guy, Donald Trump, he is pledging to go fix our economic anxiety. He is loud. He is going to get your attention. Donald Trump was a distress signal by a lot of young people, especially young men, that were stuck in a credit-centric renter economy. And again, this is what is the rise of Mamdani. It's just another iteration of this, only from the left, which is
a credit-centric renter economy.
Yes, which is the way that we need to focus, that we need to kind of frame this. And conservatives, I think I know why, are just so unwilling to have this conversation. And I'm not even going to get into what we should do about it. I think I have some good ideas. And trust me, I'm not a socialist. I'm a market guy. I like capitalism. I think markets are good. I think entrepreneurship is good. But we need to kind of paint this picture first, because I think I know this for certain, so many people in DC have no idea what I'm talking about when I bring this up to them. And secondly, a lot of people over 50 think this is a foreign concept, and they think, quite honestly, this is just the complaining of young people that don't want to work. So let me kind of paint this picture. It is harder than ever to own a home. We know this, but how much harder? Back when my parents had to go own a home, the price of a home.
How old are your parents?
They're early 70s.
Yep.
So late 60s, early 70s. So baby boomers.
Yeah.
And great parents, by the way, phenomenal upbringing, great values. So back when they wanted to go buy a home in their beginning income years, 1970s, 1980s, home prices were on average about 3 times the average income in America. They are now 7 times the average income in America. Rents have gone up inflation adjusted from about $900 a month to now about $1,500 a month.
Inflation adjusted.
Inflation adjusted. The age of a first-time home buyer in 2008 was 30 years old. It is now 38 years old. First-time home buyer. So when we have a picture of a first-time home buyer,
and that's scary.
You think of, kind of a toddler in one arm, a dog, you're trying to figure it out. 38 years old. So what is causing this? Well, number one, I don't want to get like too Ron Paul libertarian, but the Federal Reserve pumping in cheap money post-2008 has just been a catastrophe. We have spent too much money, borrowed too much money. We have deteriorated our currency. And the purchasing power every generation is getting weaker. So your dollar is actually going less and less as far as it has year over year. So then what is the consequence of this? So you have a generation that is renting a lot more than it's owning. So when you do not own something, why would you defend it? So you find then political radicalization start to seep in, because an entire generation is getting routinely cynical year over year as their net worth either stays at 0 or goes into negative.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that's a mouthful right there. But I believe that Charlie was right on the money. Right on the money. The dollar doesn't go as far as it used to. Home prices are as expensive as they've ever been. Rental prices are expensive as they ever been. And you have young people out there that are looking at the job markets over the past 4 years saying, hey, there's not a lot of jobs. And even when you get one, it's not enough money for us to get out here and make it on our own. And yeah, the thinking is, let's get extremely radical from a political standpoint. And that's how, and that's why the DSA, their movement, is really starting to catch on. And you have a lot of young people, that are supporting this socialist communist movement because they feel like Older people, the politicians out in DC have failed younger people. A lot of folks out there believe that the American dream is no longer there. And because of that, you have a lot of young people, unfortunately, looking for something else. The problem is that something else isn't going to help them either. It's just not. Socialism has never worked. Communism has never worked. And everywhere it's been tried, it's failed. 100% of the time. Everywhere. Sheesh. We got some work to do in this country, man. We have some work to do in this country. But we must continue to put our faith in God and move forward. Looking for man to save you, man's going to fail you every daggone time. Every time. Man, flawed individuals. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp, they